Yes, we welcome back to another video on the Big Stuff channel, and we're here after Arsenal's 2-1 victory at the Emirates. So unfortunately, it's not enough to bring home the Premier League title this year. Firstly, I'm here with
Patrick.
And Sebi.
Now, yes, guys, before I even touch on the overall season, because I think it's been an impressive season, let's touch on the game. Going into the game now, Saka, and we go 1-0 down. What are your feelings at that point after City are already 2-0 up?
I mean, after City were 2-0 up, I was only focusing on our game. I want to end the season on a high note, and that was a tough break to give up a goal and off a set piece like that with that type of deflection off Declan Rice. At that point, I still had faith that we were going to come back, but it was already looking like it was going to be a frustrating game with the way that they play, getting 9-10 men behind the ball at all times.
What about you, Sebi?
I'm going to be so real. At the same time, I see this 1-0, score line in the top right corner on, the TV, and I say to myself, you know what? Fair enough. That's actually, that sucks. It sucks. But, at the same time, I have so much faith in our squad. I have so much faith in West Ham, funny enough. But it was one of those things where I kind of in my heart knew that there would be a situation, but I will never forgive the faith. I'll never forget it until the end of the game.
No doubt about it.
For us and for the other team.
No doubt about it. And you touched on that, Sebi. The bar was absolutely immense. It's just some of the atmosphere in that was today. I felt like a stadium at times. We're all together singing from minute one to the end. It was actually an impressive atmosphere. And same thing was felt from the boys. They gave a massive effort of themselves today, going 1-0 down and battling back. Impressive goal right before halftime. Tomiyasu with a good cutback from Odegaard. And West Ham scored to make it 2-1 going into halftime. To halftime, the spirits are high. What are your feelings at halftime?
It's definitely feeling good. It was huge for us to get a goal before the half. I think that mentality going in level as opposed to going in down really changes things. So that was huge for us to get it, and West Ham giving us a little bit of hope. Definitely, I think probably helped the boys as well to have that fire to go out there in the second half. It didn't end up going our way up in Manchester, but they were able to find the goal that they needed at the Emirates.
And like you said, City are unfortunately walking away with this Premier League title. Their fourth one in 4 straight years. But Arsenal have put up a valiant effort. This time only 2 points behind the league winners. Tied on goal difference. It was that close. Literally one loss in 2024 meant that we couldn't take home a Premier League trophy this year. What do you think Arsenal need to do for next season and take that next step?
I'm gonna be so real. I don't even think there's there's not that much that we have to do on top of what we've done this season. We've done fantastic, and I want to give a very, very big shout out to all the players and all the fans and all of the staff because we've done so well this year. But at the same time, I recognize no matter how much I say that, there is still improvements to be made, or there still are improvements to be made. I think we need a midfielder. I think we will need a winger to give Saka a rest. But regardless,
a lot of people saying that, to be honest. What kind of midfield profile are you looking at? Because we've seen Martinelli right foot on the right. It's a bit too predictable, I think, today. Would you do a left footer on the right, possibly?
I mean, it sounds so wishful, but I would love someone that is able to do both sides of the game. I love Martinelli, and I think he's so good. But to your point, he is very right-footed. In the same way that Saka is very left-footed, but at the same time, there are wingers out there that are ready to be had that can do both sides and really be unpredictable in that way. And so we'll see how it goes in the transfer market. And I think that this team has really looked at Mikel Arteta. When I say this team, not only our squad, but also our ownership, which has been also, by the way, I have to say it. There are many people who have said Kroenke's out. I am so happy that they're here because they've done so much for us. And I do really think that they were going to back this manager, not only with his contract, which is set to expire next year, but also with the players that are going to come in. So I really do think that we were going to find that groove that will get us to this major trophy that we've been so hoping for. So
I think it is coming. Patrick, who do you think he talked about midfielder? A lot of people talk about a number 9. Kai Havertz to me has stepped up massively at the back end of the season. I thought big credit has to go to Kai Havertz. This run-in for him will never be forgotten. Do you think Arsenal needs to get a number 9 this summer?
You always want that out and out striker, right? That is, even if they're not going to be your first choice, having that option off your bench, especially when you in a match where you need a goal. If we're going to really seriously compete with City and Real Madrid and clubs like that for Champions League as well as the Premier League, we need to have that kind of depth. So I do think that if they really want to go where this club has the ambitions of going, they're going to have to get that piece. That being said, I still would, even if we got any just about any striker that's going to be available this transfer market, I would still probably start Kai Havertz up top to start the season next year. And yeah, you're going to do some squad rotation. You need to do squad rotation. You look at City; they do a lot more squad rotation than us. And some teams do squad rotation because they can't find their best 11, and some teams do squad rotations because they have the best 11, and that's what we need to be.
I agree, especially to compete with Man City. But like you said, critics will say it's another trophyless season. Us diehard Gunners will say it's progression, and it's a good feeling to end the season on. What would you give your overall rating of this season in terms of 1 to 10, and Mikel Arteta as a manager this season? Because I thought he's taken massive steps forward in terms of that Champions League run we went on, in terms of learning how to adapt and win at all costs. I thought that's something that we lacked last year. And I thought that's what got us to 89 points and just this tad bit close to Premier League title. So just give me your ratings about the season and Mikel Arteta at the end of the video.
I would probably give both an 8 out of 10. No trophies, which is tough, obviously, but we made it to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. We won more games than we ever have in the Premier League. We were fantastic. We gave up conceded 29 goals in the league all season. Only lost one game in 2024 in the league. So overall, I find it hard to give it anything lower than an 8. But without a trophy, you can't go any higher than that. And the manager as well. I think that other than having maybe not enough squad rotation, which maybe could have is just a little bit more on the roster than on his decisions. Worst decision on the year, though, I got to say, Zinchenko at home against Villa. He really did not have a good day that day, and that one may end up costing us.
Could have cost us, yeah. But overall, an 8 out of 10. What would you give the season, Sabi?
I will give the season as a whole an 8 out of 10 for a lot of the very similar reasons that Patrick brought up, and that we had a lot of quality, but in the end, we just fell short. But I will be very, very honest in that I think that Mikel Arteta deserves probably a 9 out of 10, just a little bit above the team, just because despite the situation in that Kai Havertz has played up top and he's done so well at top, I will say that he should not have played in the midfield. Other than that, he's been faultless for me this season, and I think that this guy has given this club a whole new outlook. We're sat here today because of Mikel Arteta. And for me, the fact that we are in a situation where we've won more games than we've ever won before because of Mikel Arteta. I don't want to say a student of of Arsene Wenger because he came later on, but at the same time, he came to be later on in Arsene Wenger's career. This guy has come through. Elnenis, for example, I was really hoping he would come on, but this guy has been there since Arteta started as a player. And Arteta has done wonders for this club and has brought a whole new he's brought vigor to this club, and the reason why we're here interviewing it, to be honest, I'm being so real.
Thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.